Again, before we begin today's message, let's review what we learned from the previous week.
今咱个讲道的时阵，咱搁一摆来复习咱过去一礼拜的功课。
Last week we learned about faithfulness, and in particular the faithfulness that our Lord Jesus showed.
咱前礼拜看到主耶稣怎样伫遐来信心。
First of all, he was faithful as to his relationship towards God.
主耶稣对伊甲上帝关系，真正信心。
And in the same way, we should be faithful in our relationship to Him by regularly seeking the Lord's presence.
所以为着安尼，咱卖要来寻求上帝，亲像主耶稣甲伊的关系。
And then second, he was faithful to his responsibility or what God told him to do.
主耶稣同样，伊也对伊的责任真有信心。
And we read from Hebrews 3 that he was called the apostle, he was the high priest, and he was the builder of God's house.
所以咱伫希伯来书，咱看到讲主耶稣就是上帝所差遣的，就是咱的大祭司，伫遐来建立上帝的帮助。
And we know that he has accomplished these and he continues to perform his responsibilities towards us.
主耶稣就完成伊伫遐来照做伊所差遣以来的做的代志。
And then thirdly, he is faithful by showing his accountability towards God.
咱若看到主耶稣已经信心，伊就照上帝吩咐伊的去行做。
And we learned that we can also be accountable to God by being accountable through His Word.
所以咱要伫遐上帝交托，互人做，就是伊的话语定定，咱要伫遐来照做。
And then through our brothers and sisters in the church.
然后咱有一个责任，就是伫兄弟姊妹内面。
This morning, we're going to talk about our fourth topic. We're already in the second half of our study of the life of Christ.
咱今仔日要搁继续查考，伫遐看到主耶稣的心。
And right now, I'd like to use an object lesson to illustrate my point.
咱有用一个比喻来明白咱今仔日的功课。
I have here with me an onion.
我带着这一粒的这个巴掌。
It's called a white onion.
这个是白的巴掌。
And if you look at this onion, this is quite typical of what we call a white onion. The color of the skin is like this.
这粒我手的看，这粒就是真正的这个白巴掌。
Now, if I were to chop this into pieces, it would still be an onion.
就是我将这粒巴掌给做啊真细粒，也佫是照完是巴掌。
And let's say after I chopped it, I offered some to you and said, give it a try.
我斩了，互恁食咯。
And if you eat it raw, it will taste like an onion.
就是你食落去的时阵，你知影讲确定是这个巴掌。
And of course, people will know you ate an onion when they smell your bread.
所以你食了，人佫知影你食巴掌，因为闻到你的呼吸。
If you smell it, it smells like an onion.
你伫遐来闻的时阵，你知影讲伊是一个巴掌。
If you cook it, it will still be an onion.
就是你个饲了的时阵，照完就是巴掌。
And so on the outside, it looks like an onion, and on the inside, it tastes like and smells like an onion.
就是外表是一个巴掌，然后内面食的时阵也是巴掌。
So no matter what you do to it, you chop it, you blend it, you cook it, you eat it raw, it will always be an onion.
就是无论你怎样伫遐来对待这个巴掌，伊逐时拢也不是一个巴掌。
And it would be strange if this on the outside looks like an onion, but on the inside it tastes different.
当然，你若想着说讲外口表面上可能一个巴掌，总是食的时阵顶是巴掌。
Now this morning we're looking at the heart of Christ, and in particular the subject of integrity.
所以今仔早起咱来看到主耶稣的心。 咱爱看到这点，就是伊主要所重视。
Now, before I move further, I want you to pardon me for using the title of a very popular psychology book for our message title.
所以你较凊彩咧，我用的这个题目就是对一本册，这个心理学的册安尼个脱起来。
Actually it's a psychology book, and at the same time it talks about spiritual growth.
这个虽然是一本心理学的册，总是有伫下假示咱人生的重点。
Now the reason for this particular title, The Road Less Traveled, is because many today are willing to live a life of integrity or to travel along that road of integrity.
就是咱讲少人行的路，这个意思就是说讲，真正少的人爱行这条忠实的路。
Instead, we want to travel along the road of convenience, the road of compromise, rather than the road of conviction.
因为咱做人，咱逐摆就是爱行这条紧行的路，是这条妥协的路。
Now, you may be wondering, what's the relationship between the onion today and our study of integrity?
你就问我这个问题，到底这巴肠甲这个咱基督徒着忠实到底什么关系呢？
Now, first of all, let's define what we mean when we say integrity.
咱头先来明白这个忠实到底什么意思呢？
The first definition of integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles.
咱的这个气节，这个忠实，这个意思就是头一个意思就是说，咱应该着诚实。
And then the second definition is the state of being whole or undivided.
就是个另外一个意思就是说，咱应该着伫遐完全，还是咱应该着一心一意。
And so when I was giving you the onion illustration, I was dwelling mainly on the second point about being whole or undivided.
所以我爱强调的就是爱咱明白说讲，这个忠实有气节，安尼迄个意思就是说讲，咱应该着完全，咱着一心一意。
And so if you look at the onion, it's consistent whether inside or out. Okay, you could tell that it is an onion by the appearance as well as the taste and the smell.
所以当咱看到这巴肠的时阵，咱知影讲伊外口甲伊内面拢是一心一意。
Now, it's not a perfect illustration.
当然毋是一个真正好的标准来伫遐来列互恁做个列。
Because the onion is not like us human beings; it has no thought.
因为你讲巴肠伊甚至伊无思想。
It does not have the quality of being honest.
伊也袂晓什么是诚实。
It doesn't have any moral principles.
伊也毋知什么是对，什么是毋对。
But the thing is, it cannot hide what it really is.
总是伊也无伫遐温藏，伊到底是什么？
And that's the idea behind integrity. You cannot hide who you really are on the inside.
所以咱要伫遐忠实的意思就是说讲，咱无可能伫遐来温藏，咱伫内面迄个真的人是什么？
Now, our Lord Jesus, he was a man of integrity.
主耶稣伊是一个忠实的人。
If you've been following the book, reading the book this past week, we saw an example from his own life.
所以咱读咱的在特别的在查经的材料的时阵，咱知影讲主耶稣伫伊活着的时阵，伊就真忠实。
He was once asked the question, is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not?
有人就问伊说讲，咱到底着伫遐互在罗马帝国纳税吗？
And the reply that Jesus gave was simply, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and to God what belongs to God.
所以主耶稣回应的时阵，就是说讲，咱应该着互这个罗马帝国，伊应该得的税，然后咱就是着互上帝，伊应该得的。
But then when Jesus gave this particular answer, he could actually back up this teaching.
所以伊有这个答案，这个假释的时阵，伊照原伫遐来做。
Because if you were to read in Matthew 20, okay, he actually paid his taxes.
所以伫马太20章的时阵，主耶稣讲了这个假释，伊就伫遐来纳伊应该着纳的税。
Because if you recall, much earlier, a tax collector was asking the question, does your master pay taxes?
當然有人伫遐來問講，到底主耶穌有伫遐行業稅嗎？
And Simon Peter said, yes, he does. And then, of course, he goes and looks for Jesus.
所以彼得回答說講，阮的主耶穌伊有伫遐來行伊的稅。
And then Jesus tells Simon Peter, okay, you go out and fish, and the first fish that you grab in your hand, okay, you open them out, and you will find a coin that will pay for your taxes and my taxes.
所以伊就叫彼得安尼出去掠魚的時陣，即隻魚你開了伊水的時陣，有一個錢，你就用這個錢來把啦，你應該的行的稅，了我應該的行的稅。
And so you see, when Jesus told the Pharisees that give to Caesar what is Caesar's, he already lived it out earlier when he paid his taxes.
所以當主耶穌說講，咱應該要這個解釋伊的應該納的稅，伊就照原底下來行伊的稅。
Now for this morning, we're going to examine the life of an Old Testament character who exuded integrity in everything he did.
所以今仔日早起，咱來看有約看到一個人物，伊就活着這個忠實的生命。
And because of his integrity, he was greatly rewarded by God.
因為伊有這個氣質，上帝就伫遐來收拾伊。
And of course, this man is none other than Daniel.
所以咱這個人物就是但以理。
Now, if you have been attending Sunday school since you were a child, you probably heard the story many times.
咱若有伫遐主日嘅班，咱通常就聽到但以理嘅故事。
You probably also sang that children's Bible song, Dare to be a Daniel.
所以咱時常做主日嘅學生，咱就唱說講，咱愛親像但以理。
And so we're going to look at this very familiar story of Daniel inside the lion's den.
然後今仔日咱要看到這個但以理，伊就是是當地這個西亞嘅期內面。
It's a very familiar story. Okay? It talks about how God saved His faithful servant.
然後咱看到主耶穌就伫遐來救伊嘅僕人但以理。
But then it's also a story about the importance of integrity in a man's life.
嗰一擺，互咱看到說講，咱做基督徒應該有這個重視。
Now I'd like to begin by just setting the background of our story.
咱來看咱嘅這個故事嘅背景。
Now Babylon has just been conquered by the Medo-Persians.
巴比倫國伊伫拜了嘅時陣，就無波斯嘅帝國伫遐來佔。
And the new king was now Darius.
所以這個新嘅國王就是這個大利蘇。
And we find in the story that King Darius appointed 120 satraps or governors to rule over the entire empire.
國王伊就伫遐立了100個總督伫遐來管這個國家。
And then he appointed 3 administrators who would be responsible for the 120 satraps.
伊然後入了這個3個總長底下來管理監督做總督。
And these 3 administrators had to make sure that the king would not suffer any material loss or incur unnecessary expenses in running the empire.
所以這3個總長因就這個責任咧底下來予國王因為伫這個帝國內面，伊袂受到什麼虧損。
Now Daniel was one of the 3 administrators.
但以理就伫這3個總長其中一位。
Now at this time in the story, Daniel was probably around 80 to 85 years old already.
即這個點鐘，但以理伊就差不多80至85歲。
And he was holdover from the Babylonian Empire.
咱就看得到伊對巴比倫的這個以 做一个总长，然后到波斯的帝国，伊照原做一个总长。
And I think he was retained because he had a good reputation.
伊就伫遐有可能继续做一个总长，就是因为伊有一个真好的名声。
Now in this account, we find two reasons to explain why Daniel is a man of integrity.
咱就伫即个过程中看到说讲，但尼利实在一个真正有忠实的人。
And from these two reasons, we can also learn how we can be men and women of integrity.
所以咱对即个看了时阵，咱家己有可能学习忠实。
First of all, integrity means that we can be trusted.
忠实就是说讲人有可能伫遐来信靠。
If you look at verse 3, it says that Daniel distinguished himself by his exceptional qualities.
伫第3节咱就看到说讲，但尼利伊就伫遐来超过其余的总长甲总督。
Now we're not just talking about job performance, but we're also talking about his personal work ethic.
咱唔但係說講伊有做工有成績，但是咱看到是說講伊個人伊嘅伊真有主張。
He was better than the two other administrators who were doing the same work.
所以比較讓這兩個總長所做嘅工作甲伊嘅品評。
And so because he was that exceptional, the king had great plans for him.
因為伊超過做總長，所以國王就要伫遐，互伊較高嘅地位。
And he was actually planning to make Daniel become like a prime minister who would rule over the whole kingdom on his behalf.
伊就伫遐來思想講，要互但尼利做宰相。
Now Daniel was a good steward. He did everything to the best of his abilities.
所以但尼利就伊伫遐真正會交代的，所以伊伫遐來做嘅工作，攏是出於最好嘅。
He was someone who was, we could say, who brought great profit for the king.
甚至伊伫遐治理伊通國嘅時陣，就互國王有加了真多嘅錢財。
And everything that the king asked him to do, as long as it was not unlawful, he did it very well.
所以國王所交代，伊逐項攏做到，甚至做了真好。
And so here was a man whom the king could trust with his life.
所以但尼利是即個國王，甚至伊家己性命，伊攏無驚，徛咧佇但尼利嘅手中。
He could also entrust all of his resources to this man.
就是伊所有嘅一切國家嘅錢財，伊攏有可能交代但尼利。
In a way, Daniel is similar to Joseph.
即個但尼利也是親像即個舊約即個約瑟。
If you remember, Joseph became a slave in the household of Potiphar.
咱就看到講約瑟一日伊做奴隸，伊就是伫即個波提巴伊嘅家來做一個奴隸。
And one of the most beautiful commentary about Joseph was that Potiphar entrusted everything to him, such that he did not need to worry about anything except what he was going to eat for the next meal.
因為約瑟真正係交代的，伊嘅主人就是說講逐項攏交代，無一項寡入，只要就是說講要食嘅時陣就食咯。
And then even when Joseph was tempted to sin, he kept himself from sinning.
就是當約瑟佇遐來受試探嘅時陣，伊也無佇遐來犯罪。
And so by doing that, he proved himself to be very faithful to his master.
所以伊佇遐來，互人看到講伊真正有信實。
Although he was wrongly imprisoned afterwards, but then his integrity was intact.
雖然伊受迄規監獄，總是伊即個忠實嘅即個人格無佇遐來變。
Now coming back to the story of Daniel, we learned that the other officials became very jealous of him.
所以在總督，大家人攏真關顧但尼利。
And so they were looking for something that would incriminate him.
因就伫遐来找，看有可能伫遐来找但以理唔对。
And so they thought, just like everyone else, then Daniel probably has his what we call as dirty laundry or the skeletons in his closet.
因感觉讲但以理的确伊有温藏带假释要伫遐来抄册出来。
Things that he probably had hidden so well that if he had been exposed, it would have brought him down.
有可能有在触摸的所做物件，伊伫遐来温藏，咱来抄册出来的时阵，伊但以理就伫遐来拜。
You know, back then, if there were already CCTV cameras or listening devices available, I'm sure that these government officials would probably secretly install them in Daniel's office or in his house.
当时有这个娱乐的这个电视当然我但以理的对tượng就的确该徛咧伊的房间咧，徛咧伊的所在。
Or there would be people who would be carrying this device and secretly listen to what Daniel is saying.
有人就偷偷伫遐来录这个但以理所讲的话。
But then if you look at verse 4, it says that the officials could not find any corruption in him.
总是在总督拢伫遐来抄册，袂找到但以理有啥物错误，有啥物假释。
He did not enrich himself while he was in office.
就是伊伫遐来伫咧在伊的工作，伊拢无伫遐来转值钱。
He was not negligent when he was performing his duties.
伊真正忠心伫遐来做伊所应该的做。
In the year 2000, I vividly remember the day that I saw Senator Juan Flavier.
2000年我就一摆，我也会记得我拄到这个参议员这个Juan Flavier。
I'm not sure if we were coming back on the same flight. I was coming back from Cebu. I'm not sure if we were on the same plane.
当迄日我是对宿务安尼倒来，我无知影说讲，阮是上飞机暗时。
But I saw him at the luggage claim area. We were getting our luggages.
阮就伫遐咧摕行李的所在，伫遐咧摕阮的行李。
Then we went out of the airport almost at the same time.
阮对机场就同时伫遐出去。
Then I saw that his vehicle had come around to pick him up.
所以你来载伊的车就伫遐来到伊的面前咯。
And when I saw the car, I could not believe it.
我看到迄顶车的时阵，我拢袂相信。
The vehicle that came to pick him up was an old L300 van.
所以就一顶这个真旧的车，要伫遐来指导。
Unlike many politicians who rode in expensive and gas-guzzling vehicles, the senator rode in a very humble and unspectacular car.
咱知影咱菲律宾的真侪，会跩手机架，逐摆因拢换跩真贵的车，真大顶、真贵的车。
And so on that day, when I saw that, I had a very good impression about him.
当迄日我看到这个参议员Flavier的时阵，我就对真好的印象。
Because I knew then and there that he was a man who did not enrich himself while he was in office.
因为我明白这个人当伊做这个参议员的时阵，伊无伫遐来转值钱咯。
Although he was a very popular senator, and yet he did not use his popularity to enrich himself or to steal from the government.
这个参议员Flavier真正大家人真正拥护伊，真正出名，总是伊无为着伊的地位就伫遐来贪污。
And if he had run for president, I would probably have voted for him.
就是伊今仔日来伫遐来拼总统，我嘛是选伊。
Well, a few years later, I saw him again.
无几年以后，我搁一摆看到伊。
This time, during the Vesper service of the Church of the Risen Lord in UP.
伊就伫搁一摆看到伊的时阵，就是看到伊伫即个 UP 的即个教会伫遐来咧做礼拜。
When there was this altar call being made for people who would like to once again commit their life to the Lord, he and his wife went forward.
当这个牧师伫遐呼叫说讲一嘴个要全身献予主的时阵，伊甲伊的妻子就行靠头前。
Now I do not really know if he's a Christian or not.
我唔知影讲看伊是基督徒啊，唔是。
But then he left very good impressions for me.
总是伊留落，互我的印象是真好。
Why? Because he lived a life of integrity.
因为伊伫遐做人真是有用心。
Now, going back in the definition of integrity, we learned that it's all about honesty and having moral principles.
就是咱明白这个忠实，就是意思，咱应该要有诚实。
If Daniel was working in your company right now, you can be sure he's the person who clocks in on time.
就是但以你若是伫你公司咧做事的时阵，你知影讲伊照时就是伫遐来上班。
He's the person who doesn't do the illegal clock in and clock out.
伊无偷伫遐来编菜伊的伊入去公司的时间。
He does not use office hours to just do his personal things.
伊无用这个做事的点钟来做家己的代志。
He's the one who will give 100% in his work, and he's the one that you can trust with whatever responsibilities you give him.
伊就是你所有可能信任的这个人，伊就100%你所要应该伊做出来。
He's the kind of person that you can be confident of, and you don't need to be anxious of when it comes to doing the job.
就是你知影讲，你有可能交代你也有所挂虑。
Then, with regards to his convictions, he's the kind of person who will not be swayed by the ways of the world.
你知影伊的心就是说讲袂互这个世界伫遐来引诱，伫遐安尼带歹。
And so, integrity is all about being a trustworthy person.
就是忠实，这个意思就是说讲，你爱做一个人有可能信任的人。
And so, you have to ask yourself, or we have to ask ourselves the question: can people trust us to keep our word?
咱问咱家己这个问题，人有可能信任咱所讲的话吗？
Can people trust us to be honest?
人有可能信任你说讲你是诚实的吗？
Can they trust you to be morally upright?
人有可能信任你的品行是好的吗？
Now, the second thing about integrity is that integrity means to stay true to God.
忠实的意思就是说讲，你爱忠心于上帝。
We all know what happens next in the story. We see that the people were very envious of Daniel.
所以咱知说讲，伫这个故事内面，所以大家人就伫来反倒但以理。
And so they came up with the idea of entrapping him.
所以因爱伫遐来害。
Now, his opponents knew that he was a faithful worshipper of Yahweh God.
所以也对甲说讲，伊真正忠心敬拜上帝，耶和华。
He would pray 3 times a day. He would open his window and face Jerusalem to pray.
伊就一日3擺往耶路撒冷底下跪落來祈禱，向耶和華祈禱。
And so the opponents proposed a law to the king and had him sign this law.
所以害伊的人就底下來叫因創一個禁令然後互這個國王底下來抗議。
And this law states that everyone must worship the king for a period of 30 days or face death as a consequence.
這個禁令就是說講，第30日以後袂再拜神還是人，只要拜這個國王。
And so when they had this law put into effect, they immediately went to check what Daniel would do.
當這個禁令底下來實行的時陣，因趕緊就底下來查考這個但以理。
Now when Daniel heard that the law had been signed, he went about doing what he regularly did.
但以理聽到這個禁令的時陣，伊照原做逐日所咧做物件。
He went to his room, opened the window, faced Jerusalem, and began to pray.
所以照原來到伊的房間開的窗仔，就往耶路撒冷一日3擺來祈禱。
Now we need to understand that Daniel was not showing off that he was super spiritual.
咱就爱明白，但伊并无伫遐咧夸口互人看。
But instead, he was simply doing what King Solomon had prayed about in 2 Chronicles 6, and you can read that on your own time.
甚至伊是照着所罗门王所祈祷的款的假使。
Now, when this law was put into effect, we find that Daniel did not hide himself from the prying eyes of his persecutors.
当这个律法伫遐实行的时阵，但伊并无伫遐来温藏伊家己。
He did not look for the nearest closet where he could hide and then pray.
伊無伫遐来找一个小的房间，伫遐来避藏，伫遐来大遐祈祷。
He did not say to himself, I think I can stop praying for 30 days so that I can spare my life. He never thought about that.
伊無伫遐思想说讲，我要伫遐禁止祈禱，伫遐来救我家己的命。
Instead, he risked being arrested by continuing the daily habit of seeking God.
总是伊无停，就是伫遐逐日照原逐日来寻求上帝。
And so this new law that the king instituted did not stop Daniel from worshiping God, nor did it change how he worshiped God.
这个新的律法无伫遐来变，但伊怎样伫遐来敬拜耶和华上帝？
And so we can find here that he was very true to his God.
甚至你知影说讲，伊真忠实对耶和华上帝。
Integrity is about being whole and undivided.
就是忠实，就是咱是伫遐应该着完全一心一意。
Daniel was a worshiper, a follower of Yahweh God, and he showed this by his everyday actions.
所以，但是伊是相信耶和华上帝，伊日日所活出来，也互人看到，伊是相信耶和华上帝。
Jesus once said that we are the light of the world, and no one lights a lamp and keep it under a basket.
主耶稣有讲到说讲，咱每一个人拢就是一个世界的光，无人伫遐来点灯点的时阵，则徛咧伫这个桌头的下底。
Instead, you put it where the light can shine brightly.
总是咱点灯的时阵，爱伫遐将徛咧一个所在，互这个灯的光，要伫遐来照来四周围。
And so Daniel did not hide the light that was in him,
但是伊无将伊的光伫遐来温藏，
but instead he allowed that light to shine brightly every day.
总是伊互伊这个光日日拢伫遐来发光。
Someone once asked this question: if you were accused of being a Christian, would there be enough evidence to convict you?
有人问这个问题，说讲就是人讲，你就是一个基督徒，到底有带证据，有能测出来证明讲你是一个基督徒吗？
If the CCTV recorded all of your activities, would it prove that indeed you are guilty of being a Christian?
就是这个闭路的这个电视，伫遐逐日伫咧录你所做的物件，到底有够力的证据说讲你是一个基督徒吗？
We all know that Daniel, if you ask that question, he would definitely be guilty, not of any sin against God, but of being a faithful worshiper of God.
咱知影讲，但是伊的确咱会看出讲伊生命伫遐有真多一律拢伫遐证明伊是真正敬拜耶和华。
People saw him worship God through his time of prayer.
人看到伊怎样敬拜耶和华，就是伊无停小原的祈祷。
People knew that he feared God through the way he conducted himself every day.
人伫遐知说讲，伊是惊上帝，就是看伊怎样治理国家的代志。
And this is integrity in the face of great trouble, when we choose conviction over comfort.
就是这个这个中诗的意思，就是说讲，当咱伫遮真大的压迫的时阵，咱照原行咱心内所相信的，咱无行一个妥协的路。
Now, if I were to end my message at this moment, you're going to think that integrity is not worth developing because it's going to get you into trouble.
今仔日咱第一只停止的时阵，咱就会感觉说讲忠实都无路用啊，因为逐摆就是受损失。
But then, if you were to examine the passage closely, you will see that there are rewards that come when you live a life of integrity.
总是对这个故事，咱知影说讲上帝约克伫遐来赏赐跩有忠实的人。
First of all, non-believers will respect you when you live a life of integrity.
咱就看到说讲咱做基督徒，咱若有忠实跩无信主的人，伊拢会晓伫遐来一日就会晓来尊敬咱。
You know, in the story, it was none other than the king himself who respected Daniel.
所以伫这个故事，咱就看到说讲，这个国王甚至伊就真正欣赏但以理。
When he realized that he made a mistake by instituting a law that would put Daniel in harm's way, he did what he could to try to save him.
当这个国王知影讲伊做一个唔对的决定的时阵，伊就爱伫遐来求这个但以理咯。
Why? Because he knew that Daniel was a dependable and trustworthy official.
因为伊知影讲但以理就是一个真正有可能信任的人。
He knew that there was nothing evil in this person.
伊也是知影说讲但以理并无藏了什么错误。
That was why the king liked him very much and respected him.
所以国王就真尊敬伊咯。
In our world, I know that there will always be skeptical people who thinks of integrity as being something stupid or naive.
这个世界真正做的人就感觉讲，你做忠实是真正愚昧。
But on the other hand, there are also many people who actually respect you if you live a life of integrity.
总是伫你的生命中，约克有真侪人要伫遐来尊敬你，因为你是一个忠实的人。
Now, to make this point clear, I'd like to share the story of a man named Ruben Gonzalez.
我伫遐来当年讲这个鲁宾文沙勒斯的故事。
Ruben Gonzalez is a professional racquetball player.
这个鲁宾文沙勒斯是一个专职拍这个排球的运动员。
And he has won numerous championships in this particular sport.
甚至伊冠军了真侪摆。
But the most remarkable story about this man was not about winning so many championships.
总是伊真正特别并唔是说讲伊赢了真侪这个排球赛。
But instead, the most remarkable thing about him was his honesty.
总是最特别的就是伊真正诚实。
During a championship game, he made a supposedly great shot that should have won the tournament for him.
有一摆伫这个冠军赛的时阵，伊就伫遐来拍这个球的时阵，可能应该就是伊应该就赢咯。
The referee said it was a good shot.
这个人这个 referee 就讲，这个球诶，这个伊拍了这个球诶。
And then the people who were called the linesmen, those who were guarding the sides, they confirmed it was a good shot.
歹人伫咧注意看这个魂球场的魂，是说讲这个球拍着咯。
But then in just a moment, because of some hesitation, Gonzalez then told the referee that his shot was a bad shot.
总是伊家己就叫说讲，我拍的这个球其实是拍输咯。
You see, the referee and the linesman did not see the error committed by him.
就是做这个运动员因看的时阵，因看无，总是伊家己诚实伫遐来，互人知影伊拍档。
And so because of this self-confession that he made an error, the point was given to his opponent.
为着安尼体这个球伊拍起这个球，就伫遐互伊的对手伫遐来赢咯。
And so eventually he lost the match.
所以结局就是伫这个冠军赛输了。
And many were wondering why he did such a thing. He could have won the match if he had kept quiet.
就是人就真正稀奇说讲，为什么 为什么伊就做安尼？若无伊毋就伫遐来得到这个冠军。
Later on, he was interviewed and he was asked the question why he did such a thing.
然後記者就伫遐來訪問伊嘅時陣，為什麼你做安尼？
And his answer was this. He said, "It was the only thing I could do to maintain my integrity."
伊就是講，我伫遐要照管重視，我應該做我應該做嘅物件。
And I tell you, he would be rewarded for his integrity.
所以伊就會得到這個伊重視嘅這個獎賞。
Because he was voted as Sportsman of the Year 4 times.
因為就是伊受選做這個幾年度嘅這個運動員第4年4擺，互人伫遐選做這個運動員。
And if you are a player of racquetball or a fan of racquetball, you would respect him very highly.
所以你若有拍這個排球嘅，你就會真正尊敬。
And so, do you want non-believers to respect you?
你愛咱嘅朋友、無信嘅朋友伫遐來尊敬你嗎？
Do you want to have a very good opportunity to tell them about the gospel?
你愛有一個機會伫遐將福音分享予因嗎？
Then I hope that we will all be credible in the way we live our lives.
所以咱伫遐活着時陣，要會曉伫遐有重視。
And then the final reward is that God will save us from our plight.
最後就是咱知影說講上帝一刻伫遐救贖咱脫離咱嘅危險。
We all know that Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, and yet in the story the lions didn't even touch him.
咱看到但是你想等伫西亞內面總是在西龍無伫遐來擔伊。
Usually the lions that are kept in this den are not fed regularly.
通常伫這個在西亞因就攏無會食。
So that when they decide to punish someone, like throw them into the lion's den, usually the person will not even hit the ground, he's already torn into pieces.
就是所以每一擺要刑罰一個人的時陣，這個人也未等伫這個西亞會見的時陣，已經西亞就伫遐被打落。
And yet it was remarkable that Daniel made it out alive from the lion's den, and he didn't even suffer any injury or harm.
甚至咱看到講是一個真正大的事業，因為但以理受對這個西亞的天內面伫遐來受救出來。
And this even became an opportunity for Daniel to testify before the king about who his God really is.
甚至但以理伊就伫遐來做這個見證，說講耶和華是上帝上帝。
He said, "My God sent his angel and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me because I was found innocent in his sight, nor have I done any wrong before you, O king."
所以伊就做這個見證，說講上帝垂聽伊的天使伫遐來禁止西亞的嘴，因無伫遐來傷我因為我伫上帝面前是無空的攏我是做事無伫遐互你受損虧損。
Now we have to understand that God's deliverance comes in many forms.
上帝伫遐來拯救咱有真多的方法。
It's not always in the form of physical deliverance.
無拄拄逐擺伊是伫肉體上伫遐來救贖咱。
Because if you were to read the annals of church history, you will find that many of our brothers and sisters from the 1st to the 3rd century, they experienced torture and death for their faith.
因為咱來看教會歷史的時陣，咱知影說講第2、世紀、第3世紀真濟基督徒，因就伫遐喪因的命。
God did not physically rescue them from harm.
上帝無伫遐來救贖因，脫離因生命的危險。
And yet they were rescued from the flames of hell because of their steadfast faith.
總是咱知影講，上帝永遠就是伫遐拯救因，脫離因的靈魂要佇地業。
And there's also the promise that God would actually vindicate for them or will take vengeance on their behalf.
然后圣经顶有遐一个经文说讲上帝要伫遐对来审判。
We find a good example in Revelations 18:20 where it says, "Rejoice over her, O heaven, rejoice, saints and apostles and prophets. God has judged her, the city of Babylon, or the symbol of the evil world, for the way that she has treated you."
伊启示录18章20节只有写说讲，咱要伫遐来欢喜因为在信徒、在门徒、在先知在因为上帝伫遐已经判断这个巴比伦伊所对上帝的仆人因所做唔对。
Sometimes God's deliverance comes in other forms, such as a deliverance from being put to shame or giving us a reputation that is intact.
有时阵上帝伫遐拯救咱，就是说讲，互咱袂伫遐得到见效。
You know, Daniel wasn't just delivered from physical harm. His reputation was also left intact because he did not compromise his convictions.
但是你唔但伫遐伊的生命受拯救，甚至伊的名声无伫遐受亏损。
And God's name was glorified not just by Daniel, but even from the lips of the king himself.
甚至耶和华的名受也得到荣耀，唔但伫但是你的嘴中，乃是伫国王、教员，也是安尼讲。
And I'm sure that for many of us, when we exercise honesty and integrity, this has protected us.
所以咱知影说讲，时常咱有时阵忠心的时阵，最后咱就得到奖赏咯。
When we refuse to tell a lie but instead speak the truth, God enables us to walk out of certain situations.
也常咱无要伫遐来讲假话，无伫遐来骗，咱伫遐讲实话，上帝就伫遐帮助咱可能躲避跩歹物件。
When we are being true to our faith, our conviction towards God, and we live out these convictions, God enables us to have a good testimony.
当咱真正忠实伫上帝的假使伊的命令的时阵，上帝就互咱伫遐来保守咱。
So remember, integrity protects us.
咱就会明白说讲，咱忠实伫遐来保守咱的主。
To close, integrity is an important character we all need to develop.
咱忠实是咱每一个人应该要伫遐来学习的。
But it can only be fully developed when we are grounded in a right relationship with God.
咱要得到，咱应该就甲上帝有一个对的关系。
And also it can only be developed when we adhere to God's truth and we apply that truth in our everyday life.
就是咱爱照上帝命令来做，就是活出上帝命令。
The integrity of Daniel, was demonstrated through the life he lived.
但是伊忠实，就是伊的生命伫遐活出来。
We learn today that he could be trusted and he stayed true to his God.
咱知影说讲，咱有可能伫遐来信任但是你因为伊伫遐对上帝的忠心。
And then we also learn that God rewarded his integrity by giving him the respect of others as well as to protect him from harm.
上帝就伫遐来奖赏伊，互人伫遐来尊敬伊，伫遐来保守伊，可以无得到危险。
And so the challenge for all of us is that let us all be men and women of integrity.
所以咱每一个人爱伫遐做忠实的人。
Exercise it every day, whether you're in school, you're in the office, you're at home, or wherever God may put you.
就是咱要活出生命有忠实，无论伫咱的学堂，无论伫咱做事的所在，家庭，还是上帝所欢迎咱去的所在。
And when you exercise this, people will surely take notice.
当咱伫遐活出这个忠实的时阵，人就伫遐一定会看到。
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for the model of Daniel, as well as of our Lord Jesus. We thank you that through the life of integrity that they lived, we know, Lord, that integrity indeed can protect us from harm. That integrity builds our reputation with others, and in a way gives us a hearing for the gospel. And so, Lord, we pray that you help each one of us. That, Lord, we would be honest as people, that we would be firm in our convictions towards you. Lord, we know that this is a hard path to follow, but may you enable us to do so. We pray all this in Jesus' name.